friend from down there in Virginia. He actually said it's cold in Virginia today. My good buddy Joe White, Mr. White, how we doing?
What's up, AC? Yeah, man, it's snowing. It started snowing last night, snowed most of the day, and then by like 2 o'clock, everything was melting. So
the funny part of you say that to me is it was all doom and gloom for the last 2 days up here, and they said it was going to snow all day today and all this stuff, and it started snowing less than an hour ago. So I have no idea what that means for overnight, but it's coming down now, but it did not ruin our day like it has so many times in the last few weeks. But it is snowing here now as well.
Yeah,
and everybody's pretty much over it, to be honest.
I am too, man. It's like, I'm over these kids being out of school every 2 days. You know, yeah. They're supposed to have a NASCAR race in Martinsville, Virginia, which is about 45 minutes east of here. And as of this morning, the racetrack was covered in snow. And they got to be there Friday to start like qualifying and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's crazy around here.
Well, I'm sure NASCAR doesn't deal with snow on that often.
No,
but I'm sure they could. I'm sure they could figure something out.
Well, the racetrack.
But yeah, it's the same thing with the kids up here, man. Like in the town I live in, they were talking about 1 or 2 more snow days, and they're going to start pulling from their spring break.
Spring break, yeah. The kids down here, their spring break starts April 1st because that's when Easter Sunday is. Yeah, Easter Sunday's on April Fool's Day. So What does that say about religion? Anyway, we won't go there. But yeah, they're going to start pulling.
We're not offending people tonight.
No, not tonight. Not tonight. But They said they're going to start pulling from like teacher work days and spring break and stuff like that. But I know y'all don't care. But going back to NASCAR, they got snow plows and jet dryers and heaters and everything they can run across the asphalt.
I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, they'll get it in. They'll get the race.
I mean, you've had. I mean, all they got to do is just call the NFL. I mean, they've had 2 feet fall, and then the next day had fields and stadiums ready for playoff games. So yeah. I mean, when it comes, that's when you have TV contracts and all that other stuff. Those events seem to find a way to go on.
Interestingly enough, I want to talk about the WWE's TV contract with you tonight because I'm curious to get your opinion on it. But what have you got first for us here?
I mean, I guess if we're gonna talk wrestling, which that's why I brought you on and have a little wrestling segment here. I mean, the place we got to start with, especially after yesterday, is the clearance of Daniel Bryan to wrestle, and he jumped right back into things, took some bumps on SmackDown last night. Obviously still over huge with the fans. What's your feeling on this whole Daniel Bryan deal right now?
At first I was like, okay, they cleared him. He's going to come back and work light. I never expected him to take bumps last night. I was like, damn, he's jumping right back in head first.
Yeah.
I got a little bit emotional. I'm not going to lie. During that speech last night, I had tears in my eyes because it's like, here's a guy that everybody likes. Nobody dislikes Daniel Bryan.
He's the one universally over guy.
Yeah. Women, children, men love this guy. Everybody. I mean, I love him. I don't know your opinion on him, but I love the guy's work. Always have.
They need him right now, too.
Oh, yeah. But here's my thought on it. When you can get a guy, okay, we've been saying for weeks how everybody's pointing to that fucking WrestleMania sign. But when you can get a guy to get the fans to naturally point at that, the fans did it.
Right.
He never even looked at that sign. The fans pointed at it.
The fans wanted him on Mania.
That's how you know you got a star on your hands. The sad part is WWE and Vince McMahon and Triple H and their way of thinking, they're never going to give him that title again, I bet. I bet we never see him as world champion. One, he's still a liability, even though he's cleared. And if he takes one shot to the head or has any inkling of a concussion at all, that's it. He's done. They're not going to play around anymore, I mean, this is like his last chance to sit there and really have a good run,
Well, I think it's I got to say this. I don't often admit that I'm wrong, but I'm going to admit I'm wrong with Daniel Bryan in this sense. After the second, I know it was in the second injury, but the second major injury that he was away ends up retiring. If you all remember the timeline, wins the title at WrestleMania, defends at Extreme Rules, then it's injury, gives up the title, was out for a while, comes back. We all remember the worst fan reaction in Royal Rumble history.
Yep.
When he was in the Royal Rumble, Reigns wins the whole thing. And then Daniel ends up getting hurt again. I think they put the IC on him and he got hurt again.
Yeah, he won the ladder match at WrestleMania.
Right, he won the ladder match. That was at 31, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's hurt again. He retires, the whole deal. At the time, I don't think I realized how much the fan base loved this guy. I thought at the first injury, I thought I understood it, but I thought after missing the time, then getting hurt again, we're never going to see him wrestle again. Yeah, he could come out and be SmackDown general manager, and you could get the yes chant going and everything else. But I underestimated how much the fans truly love this guy. And I think you saw that with the reaction yesterday. Now, I agree with you. He's probably on a short leash. I don't know if he agrees with that based on how he worked last night. Because, I mean, that was vintage Daniel Bryan last night. I mean, he jumped back in 2 feet, you know. The other thing, I think the idea that this is only about all these doctors clearing him is a little disingenuous. Now, he can't say any differently. But we all know he's been going to these specialists for a long time now. This isn't like, you know, a couple months ago, Daniel Bryan just decided, I got to get back in there. I'm going to go to these specialists. He's been doing this, and he's been fighting the WWE with this for a very long time. And this is just my personal opinion, and this has nothing to do with him. This is a fault on the company side. I think they're afraid of him showing up at Wrestle Kingdom 13 next year as a headliner, or showing up at All In, or whatever else they could put him on. I think they were truly afraid that if they didn't let him wrestle, he was going to leave the WWE.
He was.
And help somebody else. But here's the thing from a company side. If that's the case, that's fine. But you can't. I can't take Triple H seriously when he tweets out, "We care about the health and well-being and all our superstars," because that's just not true. Because if that was true, you would have held steadfast that Daniel Bryan cannot wrestle anymore. They have not held steadfast on that. They've gone back on that now. Now maybe they jumped the gun because of lawsuits or whatever else. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why they're going back on it now. I don't know. But the other side of this too is, if he is to get hurt again, they have egg on their face. But it's a continuation of their inconsistency. When it comes to Brock Lesnar and steroids, we're going to turn a blind eye, but we're going to suspend all these other people. When it comes to various women and other people in the company having some lewd pictures or lewd acts become get out there on the internet, we're going to get rid of them. But when Seth Rollins' dick gets out on the internet, Triple H calls it a personal situation.
Yeah.
So they are very inconsistent with this stuff. And I just think there's more to their reasoning here. But having said that, if he did really go around to all these specialists, which we all know he did, and they all said he's clear, he should have been cleared a long time ago, in my opinion.
Well, here's
because
the
if
thing.
all these specialists are saying it, he should have been cleared.
It all came down to
we all know why now. That's my only point.
It all came down to one guy, and that's that Pittsburgh Steelers doctor, Joseph Maroon, the guy who kind of spearheaded the whole CTE thing in the NFL along with Dr. Amalu. If you've never seen the Will Smith movie Concussion, go out of your way to see it. It tells kind of like how Maroon got to where he is too. But
also sheds a bad light on the NFL.
It does. Here's how I think about this, and this is going to be a stupid analogy for some people, but here's the way I see it. You ever seen the movie with Julia Roberts, Erin Brockovich?
Yes.
Okay. she's sitting there talking to the woman about how the water is bad and, you know, the power plant up on the hills poisoned your water. And the woman's like, no, the power plant people came in and told us that the water was healthy. They even sent us to doctors that said we were healthy. And Julia Roberts' comeback, and this is very important here, Julia Roberts' comeback is, yeah, but PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, paid for that doctor. WWE pays for Joseph Maroon.
But what about the other doctors that he saw on his own?
Daniel Bryan, I think, is paying for those on his own dime because WWE's thing is Maroon won't clear you. Bye, we're gone. That's why he said on SmackDown last night, and I believe this to be true, I asked him to reopen my case. And according to Meltzer, he went to Maroon and said, who do you see as the experts in this? And Maroon named 3 or 4 guys. So Daniel Bryan on his own dime went around to the 3 and 4 guys. They got their approval. Maroon said, okay. Now, what I think we're not being told, and to your point, is that WWE is sitting there shitting kittens because here it is now. They've probably been trying for months to probably get Daniel Bryan under a new contract. And Daniel Bryan probably finally went to McMahon and said, look, stop trying. Unless you clear me, I'm going to go get over and make millions of dollars somewhere else. Right. So to your point.
And he would do it too.
Yeah. So to your point, I would not put it past WWE to call up Dr. Maroon and go, look, just clear the guy already. We need him.
Yeah.
I would not put it past that to happen. I would not. And people are going to sit there and go, but Joe, he's a medical professional. He could risk his license to do all bullshit. It's all paperwork. It's all his decision.
Like you said, go watch the damn movie. Look what the NFL did. They turned a blind eye to this shit for years.
Yeah.
If you don't think there's some level of corruption and all that kind of stuff, you're crazy.
So I wouldn't put it past.
I'll give you the perfect example. Clint Frazier. He's a big-time Yankees outfield prospect. He got a concussion 3 weeks ago in spring training. He hasn't even picked up a baseball since then. You have NFL players who get a concussion on Sunday. They're playing a game on Thursday.
Hell, look at what they did to Punk.
And I know everybody's different, but come on. You can't take everybody at their word in this stuff.
Why do you think big part of the reason why CM Punk left? You know, and now there's a lawsuit around all that shit because CM Punk's accused the doctors of being shady.
Well, this is my thing with him. I don't necessarily think that I think he probably did have an axe to grind there. But the fact that he's been sued over what he said shows that he might have been a little bit of full of shit and just I think he's a lot of it full of shit about a lot of the stuff he says. But either way, given the inconsistency that we've already brought up here, they've been inconsistent about all this kind of stuff forever. This is nothing new with the WWE. No. We're going around in circles with them here. This is what they do. And
every single wrestling podcaster, Meltzer may have even said this, but I listened to like a couple of wrestling podcasts last night reviewing SmackDown and even today, and the first thing they go is, "I'm very glad he's back," but
I just hope he doesn't get hurt.
No, there they go. Seeing him take bumps last night still made me a little uneasy. And it did me too. I'm sitting there watching him bump going, holy shit, please don't fall on your head. Please don't fall on your fucking head. You know? And he didn't. I mean, it didn't look like he had missed a damn step in 2 years. But I mean...
I know, really. I mean, if he's not training behind the scenes, I'd be shocked.
He has been. He posts fit pictures and videos on his Instagram and Twitter every week of him working out.
I think the other side of this, which I've already brought up, is the New Japan factor. And let's face it, Chris Jericho being on Wrestle Kingdom this year and what it did for the subscriptions for New Japan World is at play here a little bit. It just is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think New Japan is going to take over the WWE and be number one or be that 1A that WCW was back in the day. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying, though, is Chris Jericho being on Wrestle Kingdom 12 had a major effect on financially on New Japan. They did so well with subscriptions. They basically have Kevin Kelly living in Japan now doing English commentary for many shows. Used to get English commentary for like 6 shows. He did English commentary the entire New Japan Cup. Every show he did English commentary.
Jesus.
So the reason they said is because their subscribers, English speaking subscribers, now the number calls for it. They have enough to say, okay, we have so many of you. We're going to give you English commentary.
What have I told you and Edwards? I've told you both. I'd watch it more if there's English commentary, and I have. I've watched more New Japan this year with Kevin Kelly and Don Callis than I have ever.
And I understand it, and I agree. I agree with it too. I listen. I've watched it without it, but do I enjoy it more with English commentary? Of course.
I mean,
some of it was a little tough to watch with Japanese commentary or no commentary because it was distracting. You know what I mean? Distracting to watch it with the Japanese commentary.
So I want to get your thoughts here on this on the WrestleMania card. I know this is your podcast, but I'm going to ask you here. I told you.
Go ahead. We're having an open forum here, brother.
I told you before we come on here, and I have this. It's a card here that I have, but a few of the matches aren't officially confirmed, but we pretty much know they're going to happen. And 14 matches, 2 battle royals, and then 12 matches, many of which are multi-man matches. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 multi-man matches. Or no, 5. 5 of these matches.
It sounds very New Japan-esque, actually.
Yeah, and you put the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and the Women's Battle Royal here, so that's 7. Half of the matches have more than 2 competitors in them.
I think it's too many.
It is. It's too many matches or too many multi-man matches, or both?
I think both.
I think so, too. Jinder Mahal being in this United States Championship match?
Didn't need to be in it.
Why?
Well, we all know why. They want people in India to watch. That's why. There was no reason to interject them into that rushed story anyway. And having said that, while you're on the subject, if you're gonna make a big deal about Randy Orton winning that U.S. title and being like a Grand Slam type champion, can we have at least like a little build to the fucking match? Like, can we have a little bit of a story? Or, like, let's make it a big deal after the fact. Like, that match, to me, if you built it for even just 2 or 3 weeks as Randy chasing this greatness, you know, it would have been more interesting.
Yeah,
watching the match, I'm just like, why are Randy and, you know, it was almost like, why are Randy and Bobby Roode, you know, because of one RKO, they're having this match. And then afterwards, it's like, Randy Orton, Grand Slam champion, and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And it's like, wait a minute.
It would add more validity to the title, too, and more
right?
Because he could go out there and go, yeah, I've been a world champion, I've been this, but
I've won every damn title, but this one, I want this one.
There's one missing from my trophy case at the house, and that's this one. You know, it makes the title mean more if he comes out there. And I know people are going to go, oh, wrestler keeping belts in a trophy room. He's such a mark for himself, man. They did an interview back in 2003 where The Rock is sitting in that damn trophy case, and it's every title he's ever won. So, I mean, come on. I do it too.
All athletes do that. Come on.
Hell, my kids have their participation trophies from softball and baseball still.
Listen, it's a trophy. It's recognition of all the great things you did. Why would you not keep that? Well, listen, if a doctor has 17 degrees, does he not hang them on the wall?
Exactly. And
like, how's it any different?
People are going to be like, oh, it's fake. But no, that's a sign that the company was confident in you at the time.
Yeah,
you did your job well. You know,
it is fake and scripted, but there is a prestige in winning these titles.
Yeah.
You get these titles because you are at the top of your game. You're at a top level. You're a top guy in the story. So there are a lot of guys that haven't won titles. So when you have guys out there like Roddy Piper, who never won the WWE or WWF champion, WWE champion, whatever you want to call it, who never won that, it's a prestigious thing to win it still.
Let's talk about the other elephant in the room here. Because that match between Randy, Bobby Roode, and Jinder Mahal, I don't care who wins. Bobby Roode's not over as a face. He's better off as a heel. Nobody wants to see Jinder Mahal win it. I got to think Orton retains on this one.
Again, does like you said, does it matter?
Not really.
I just don't know that it matters.
You're gonna see.
You know?
You're gonna see. Okay, here's the thing.
I'm much more interested in where they go with the IC than they do with that one.
Because you're gonna see.
I'm sure we'll get into that down the road.
I guarantee you, on SmackDown, the Tuesday after WrestleMania.
And there's a reason behind that because I don't want Balor to win it, but we'll get there.
Tuesday. Oh, I don't either. Surprisingly, Tuesday after WrestleMania, you're gonna see Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode for that belt on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mahal will be an afterthought, or he'll.
It doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't whether Roode or Orton will win it, and then the other guy will get the match on the 2 days later. You're 100% correct. 100%.
I want to talk about the elephant in the room with you because you're the MMA guy. What do you think about this Ronda Rousey teaming up with Kurt Angle situation? They couldn't get The Rock. I'll be honest with you, man.
Go ahead.
I don't like the way she's been presenting herself. She's coming out there smiling. No, you need to get that damn mean fucking grin on your face, baby face or heel. That's what she's known for. You know.
Here's the problem. I have two problems with this program. A, it should be The Rock. Nothing against Angle, but it just doesn't feel very big to me with Angle. I don't know. The other part of it is exactly what you just said. The way they're presenting Ronda Rousey is ridiculous. 1 minute she's a badass. The next minute she's so thankful and happy to be in the WWE. The next minute she's crying. Is she bipolar? Is she still a badass? Is she the girl who didn't do an interview in MMA for 2 years? Who is she? In the WWE, who should she be? She should be a fucking badass. She should, when Ronda Rousey comes out, she should have that death glare she should come to a UFC ring with. She don't even need to say a word. Wouldn't even need to say a goddamn word. And I just don't understand this. They want to walk the line of reality to, you know what I'm saying? They want to walk the line of reality to storyline, and it ruins the storyline because it's very confusing and very uninteresting and very, I don't know. It just it makes it come off as like everything else they've done with the women so far. Although I think it's been a little better lately now that they've broken off and had their little separate programs instead of all being thrown into one big circle. But it just screams like, oh, we have Ronda now. So it doesn't matter what we do with Ronda because we have her. People are going to watch because we have her.
That's like this bullshit of them sitting there going.
That is for the casual fan. Again, it's for the casual fan.
That's like this bullshit with it doesn't matter if they cheer or they boo as long as they get a reaction. I'm like, it's the wrong fucking reaction though, And this whole deal of, did you see the thing that they taped Monday night with her and Dana Brooke?
Yeah, I hated it.
It was fucking horrible.
Oh, with her and Dana Brooke?
Yeah, they taped a thing that didn't air on Raw. They filmed, they put it up on WWE.com and on YouTube.
Oh, no, what happened? I didn't see that. I thought you were talking about the interview segment with her and Angle, where 1 minute she's crying, 1 minute she's laughing, next minute she's a badass. They must have had some kind of some okay with the UFC on that because she mentioned UFC. They had UFC footage. Dana White's name was mentioned in there.
Because I know what the deal is with Ronda Rousey. I can guarantee you. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But here's my point. She came out there during the live crowd. I guess the WWE was on commercial or whatever.
It was on commercial when she came. I saw like a picture that she posted on Instagram that said she was in front of a live crowd, and I'm like, wait a minute.
So she comes out there and goes, she's coming out there smiling and laughing. The crowd's not saying a damn word. And then finally she sits there for 5 seconds while the 5 people that are in the crowd do chant Ronda Rousey. 5 people. And she's sitting there giggling like a baby in a bathtub.
She's way too happy.
Yeah.
She's way too happy.
And then she goes, "What's up, Dallas?" And as soon as they see, the crowd's popping because she mentioned the hometown, cheap heat. And as soon as she says that, out comes Dana Brooke to interrupt her, saying, nobody wants you here. You got to start from the bottom around here. And then she gives her like a Samoan drop or some weird ass throw that she called a judo throw, but it looked stupid to me. It looked sick. It just looked like she looked like a pro wrestler who has not had any fucking training. That's what it looked like. And then that was the end of the segment. She just walked off.
Is this on YouTube? Is this on their YouTube?
Yeah. It's on their. It has to be on their YouTube, or it's on their damn web on WWE.com. So here's my deal with
I just want to see this throw because I'll be able to tell if it's a judo throw.
She says it's a judo throw, and they started giving.
I mean, it's more than. I mean, more than likely it is. It's probably why she did it.
It looked like a suplex mixed with a.
It's in her comfort zone, though.
But here's what kills me about this whole thing, AC. And this, Brock and Roman's going to happen. And we all know Roman's getting the fucking title, okay?
Well, I mean, it's got to come off Brock, so...
But the biggest thing is people are sitting there going, Brock is going to UFC. Oh, okay. You're watching. I don't want to interrupt this.
No, I just turned the volume down. Keep talking. I'm going to try to skip forward.
So, Brock is leaving for UFC again, probably. That's the big rumor. What do you want to bet me Brock sat down with Vince and Dana White and said... Okay, Brock's gonna go take a break, and we'll allow Brock to get out of his contract.
That's a judo throw.
That's what she claims.
That was not. I mean,
it looked like a
I thought
throw.
We were gonna see one of her vintage judo throws. Okay,
but
I mean, I agree with you. I don't know what she was going for there.
What you want to bet me? They sat down and said, "Okay, we'll let Brock leave. We won't give him. We'll let him out of the contract, whatever the case may be. Or his contract's up anyway, but." What you want to bet me? He looked at Dana White and goes, but you got to give us Ronda because you would know the answer to this. Was Ronda or is Ronda still under contract to UFC?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Dana White has to allow this to happen.
Dana White was Brock Lesnar has nothing to do with Dana. Has nothing to do with Ronda Rousey.
You don't
basically
think they sat down and said,
here's how the UFC contract works. It's a fight contract.
Right.
So she's contracted to have so many fights. All right? If somebody's not going to fight, they're not going to hold them to that contract. So let's say Dana and Ronda have a meeting. And let's be honest. We all know Ronda Rousey wasn't fighting MMA again. Her MMA run is over. I could do a whole show about how I think her trainers did a disservice to her, how she did a disservice to herself by not advancing her training, and how I don't like the fact that her career is being tarnished now because of how it ended. But either way, that's a story for another day. But the bottom line is this. It's the same thing with CM Punk. Let's say CM Punk goes and has this next fight in Chicago, loses that fight, and says to Dana and goes, man, we tried it. I got my ass kicked twice. It was worth a shot. I made amends with Vince. I'm going to do WrestleMania 35. Dana White's never going to say no. But if CM Punk goes, Vince or Dana, maybe I should go down, have some fights in Bellator so I could get better. Then I'll come back to the UFC. He's never going to say yes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That'd be and the same thing with Ronda. If she goes and tries to have, let's say she tried to have a professional boxing match, Dana White's never going to let her do it. You know what I'm saying? Or if he does it, they're going to co-promote it like they did with what they did with Conor. Her being in the WWE and them using that footage and everything else doesn't do anything bad for the UFC, and she's not fighting in the UFC anyway. Now, if Conor McGregor, who they need him to fight in the UFC this year, and we all hope that he will, if he goes to Dana and goes, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take 6 months off and go wrestle in the WWE. Dana White's going to be like, fuck you. No, you're not. I need you in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily, you're presenting it as some kind of trade. I don't think that's what it is. Dana and Ronda have a special relationship. Ronda wanted to do this. Ronda's not going to fight in WWE or not going to fight in the UFC anymore. So Dana's going to okay it. Yes. You know what? But that doesn't mean that 3 years from now she can leave the WWE and then go fight for Bellator. She still has that fight contract with the UFC, which you're going to see play out here because there's a rumor that Chuck Liddell is going to fight in Bellator. And I believe he still has a fight on his UFC contract. So although the UFC fired him, they fired him from his administrative role. So he may technically still be under contract with the UFC.
The last time
we had this happen with Rampage, where Rampage went to Bellator, fought, then went and fought for the UFC, and Bellator said, hold on, wait a minute, you're under contract with us. And the UFC said, hold on, he's got to fight with us, and they had a big fight about it. So that's how those fight contracts work, but he's never going to stop her from fighting in WWE. He's not to bring Brock back. Because, listen, there's still a lot of, in all actuality, everything that I've read, Brock has not re-entered USADA testing.
No, and he's still suspended, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think his suspension would be up. But here's what would have to happen. He needs to re-enter USADA testing for 6 months before he can fight. See, they expedited that the last time. They gave him a pass.
But I'm under the impression of
hold on. They
gave him for 2 years.
The rule that you had. Okay, when you leave the UFC, let's say like Brendan Schaub retired, now he wants to come back for the UFC. He wants to come back now. He needs to enter USADA testing for 6 months before he's allowed to fight. That was the case with Brock last time.
I thought it would work like that.
But hold on. Because he left before this testing was in place, they gave him a pass. Now, they probably would give him another pass, but if he didn't fail. Considering he failed tests, they're never giving him that pass again. So even if Brock leaves WWE after WrestleMania, you're not seeing him in the UFC till wintertime anyway.
Yeah. The way I looked at it was, I was like, okay, they suspended him for 2 years? I think that's what he was facing?
No, I think he got a year.
Okay. So
but you got to remember, that's retroactive to the original suspension.
But what I'm saying is, like, after
he won't be, his suspension it's either up or almost up.
Okay. Because, see, I was of the opinion of, if it's a year and you say, okay, I'm retired, that year still looms over your head, is what I thought.
Oh, it doesn't matter. If you retire, it's still a year. But it's a year from your. So let's say he took the test in July. He failed the test in July. He was suspended August. Let's say he was suspended August 1st. Even though they gave him a year. Let's say they gave him a year in October. It's still from August 1st to August 1st.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because you already served the suspension.
So it doesn't matter if he goes and retires or not. That year's still up, pretty much.
Right, but he has to be under USADA testing for 6 months. 6 months of testing before he'll be able to fight.
And I look at it this way.
And everything that I've read, and once he enters that program, you're going to hear about it. My guess is he hasn't entered it yet because Vince won't allow him to until after Mania.
I look at
because if he enters it now, Vince, it's a dead giveaway, you know.
I look at it this way too. If he goes back, who do you put him up against? They can't just put him up against a Mark Hunt. It has to be a big profile fight.
Oh no! And when this is the reason why he's not going to fight till next winter. Because when he comes back, they're going to have him and John Jones.
That's what
because they're going to sell 10 million pay-per-views.
So here another thing is, if he loses again, comes back and loses, let's see, John Jones kicks.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Do they still allow it? You know, does he go back to WWE and then comes back 2 years later?
No. If this is what happens. If Brock Lesnar loses to John Jones, Brock Lesnar could still fight Francis Ngannou. He could still fight maybe Alistair Overeem again. He won't be in the title picture, but they'll give him fights because he's going to sell pay-per-views, he's going to sell tickets.
Yep.
But if he loses to John Jones and leaves fighting again, that'll be it.
Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Stephanie Triple H. It's apparent that Ronda Rousey's not going to lose. There's no way she's coming in there to lose like that.
You might agree with this, and I like it from the standpoint is, if you gave Ronda a singles match versus Stephanie, she's not ready for that yet.
Nope.
Even though it's Stephanie, she's still not going to look good.
Hell no.
So my guess is you're going to see a lot of Angle and Triple H in this match. You're going to see a lot of mucked up situation. You know what I mean? You're not going to see a lot of Ronda on the spotlight one-on-one because she's just not going to be ready for that yet.
And
that's why people thinking she was going to fight Charlotte at WrestleMania. That would have been the worst thing they could ever do.
Because Stephanie's not that good either. You're going to see a lot of this whole they're going to square off in the ring, and then Stephanie's going to tag in Triple H, which forces Ronda to tag in
I think you might see some intergender action in this fight.
At the end, yes. But
there's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of the whole shenanigans of Ronda chasing Stephanie around the outside of the ring and all this and that, and it's just going to be here's the thing.
I
don't get why. I get why they're putting her there because they think it's going. Somebody called in. I was listening to Busted Open, and Bully Ray was the co-host.
And I saw him at the barbershop the other day.
Really?
Well, him and Velvet bought a house like 7 minutes for me.
Really?
Yes.
So they're on Busted Open, and this caller calls in and goes, Ronda Rousey is so green. Why aren't they putting her in NXT? Which I have the same opinion. If you want to be in the business and you want to show fans that you are wanting to do this,
she's too big of a star for
I get that. But the problem is the fans see her as, here's another part-timer.
No. But here's what has to happen.
She's not going to bring in anything new.
No. She needs this work house shows, and you know what I mean. She needs to work the full schedule. That hasn't happened yet.
I think
eventually that needs to happen.
Yes, it's a good way. It's a quick fix. So, it's a quick thing to get money in there now to draw pay-per-views. The problem is people are just signing up for the free month, and the networks churn, which is people signing up for free month, canceling and signing up.
They got a lot of subscribers. They have a lot of subscribers.
Their churn is out the roof. Did you listen or hear the last bit of numbers that they released a couple months ago? Their churn is through the roof. Which is their churn, which is people who sign up for the free month, cancel after the free month is over, and then sign up with a new email address or credit card, and they get another free month.
Yeah, but I mean, how often does that really happen? Dude, I get what you're saying that happens a lot.
Who do that,
but dude, they still have like 2 million base. How many base subscribers do they have around the world though?
About a little over 1 million.
No, it's more than that. Dude, it's like 100. It's like 1.5 million just in the U.S. Look it up. Worldwide subscribers.
All right, this is from October 26th of 2017. Okay, WWE Network's average paid subscribers has increased to 1.52 million over the quarter. This breaks down to 1.11 million domestic paid subscribers and 0.40 international paid subscribers.
All right, it's so 1.5 around the world.
Yeah, it's a 4% increase in a year. 4%, that's it.
That's really not that good.
And their churn, and that's just their paid subscribers. It's
Hollywood Edwards says, hey, by the way.
Tell him I said, what's up?
Wait a minute. So they're saying that they have, we'll just average it out here, almost 1.6.
Paid. That's people who are paying, not the leechers. That's not including their churn and everything else.
So that's not really a lot of money then.
No.
What's that? About 16 million a month or so?
It's not going to improve as long as they get, I'm sorry.
I don't know, though, but hold on a second.
I'm of the opinion that WrestleMania should still be on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but that's almost 200 million a year, though.
I'm of the opinion that WrestleMania should probably
just for the network.
I'm of the opinion that WrestleMania should probably still be on pay-per-view. Pay-per-view's not dead if you do it right. Look at what UFC did. Look at what Mayweather McGregor did.
They've had a bad year on pay-per-view.
Mayweather McGregor said otherwise.
Oh, yeah, that's the only one, though. And it was illegally streamed more than any other fight ever.
I know.
Don't get yourself in trouble, White.
Anyway.
He's like, I know.
So,
I remember your stories about tracking the illegal feed all night.
Here's what I'm curious, though. I don't give two shits about this Rousey, Angle, McMahon match. I don't care. What I care about is what they do afterwards with her.
What? Let me ask a question. Sub the Rock in for Angle. I think
still wouldn't care.
I think just the intrigue of those megastars being together makes it a different match for me.
Here's what kills me, though. They would play off the whole deal that happened at WrestleMania 31 and all this stuff. Does
The Rock show up at all?
No.
He wasn't there last year.
No.
No, not at all.
But here's my opinion here.
No spot at all. Not a rock concert with Elias, nothing like that.
Maybe a rock concert with Elias, maybe. But I think Elias is going to be Braun Strowman's partner. So, anyway, but my point is, after this is over with, and you have the next night on Raw, which it doesn't count because it's a smart crowd. Wait another 2 months till they get back to Paducah.
All your favorite British fans.
Oh God. I'm getting ready to go to Queens of Combat on Saturday, and I'm kind of dreading it because the kind of fans that show up there do that one fall bullshit, and I can't stand it. But anyway,
I actually I thought about you on Sunday, so I went to my first live wrestling show since July.
Damn, you didn't go to NEW at all during the winter?
No, dude. That's a podcast for another day. How busy I've been. So I finally here's basically what happened. I actually got a Saturday night off in February, and I was supposed to go to Bethany for the NEW show, and I was going to be my triumphant return to Bethany.
Right.
And it snowed like a bitch, and Bethany Town Hall was closed, so they had to cancel the show. So my tickets were good for this one, which fell on a Sunday, which is great for me because Sunday is the one day I always have off. Or I can even if I have to work, I could always get it off. Let's put it this way.
Right.
So anyway, so it falls on Sunday. So I called Michael Lombardi, the promoter, the president of NEW. Oh yeah, Aunt, your tickets are good. Blah blah blah. I'm glad to have you back. Da da da. The whole thing was great. So my tickets for the last show were good for this show. So we go there, and I got to be all the old school Bethany. Nobody's there. The show was tremendous. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it, but the show was very good. I had a lot of fun.
The internet screwed the pooch because now you got all these new fans that read about him on the internet invading.
Right. So I actually called and texted all the old Bethany fan base, and I'm up to 22. My goal is to get to 30, and we're going to take the whole C section, which we used to have. And at the next Bethany show, I'm going to take the Saturday night off, and we're going to take back Bethany. But no, honestly, dude, it was fun to be back at a live show. It's been a while. Before I was managing, I was going to 50 shows a year, driving all over the freaking Northeast there. But it just hasn't, work is more important right now. But it was good to be back at the show. It was fun. But they did do that one fall bullshit there too, and I was like, oh, White would love this. And the funny part is I never remember that happening there. So the fan base has changed a lot, but the talent has changed a lot because so many of the Bethany regulars, wrestler-wise, have signed exclusively with ROH and don't do indies anymore.
Yep.
So, the entire kingdom's not wrestling at, at Bethany anymore. Obviously, Flip Gordon's the number one guy for Northeast Wrestling now until he joins Bullet Club and signs exclusively, which I'm sure will happen. Oh, it's going to happen. I almost know. I actually had dinner with him about a month ago, and I'm not saying he told me it's definitely happening. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is from what he said, my opinion is it's going to happen. I'll leave it at that because he did not give me any spoilers or anything else. But based on our conversation, I have a pretty good idea that it's going to happen. Because I was actually of the opinion that when his contract with the Army was up, that he was going to be signing with NXT. And based on our conversation, that's definitely not the case.
Let's go. So the Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle, the Ronda Rousey deal. To me, it's important of what happens to her after this whole thing is over with. Because the thing about The Rock coming in, The Rock versus Cena, 2 years, whatever, my biggest thing about The Rock coming in was it doesn't matter what he does at Mania because there's going to be no follow-up to it. Ronda Rousey apparently is sticking around. So there is going to be some sort of follow-up to this. I'm hoping to God that we get, somewhere down the line, her and Asuka. And I want Asuka's streak to stay intact. I don't think it will. But even then, I don't know if I want Ronda Rousey to be the one, she's going to be women's champion before next year. They've already got her on the poster for next year's WrestleMania up in New York, which I know you're giddy about going to.
Well, I'll be there. This honestly, I'm excited to do the whole weekend.
Part of me is thinking about
I haven't been to NXT yet, so I'd like to do the NXT, and I'm hoping some of my guys that signed will be on that show. Ricochet and Dijak and War Machine.
If any
let me ask you
smart,
a question.
they run a show that weekend.
I don't think he will.
Really?
It's not. He's different than a lot of these indie guys. I don't think he'll jump in on the whole
kerfuffle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Cash grab.
Plus, his deal is more
local.
Run Northeast Wrestling, but he manages a lot of the talent that leaves there appearance-wise, which is real. Like that's why Cody was around so much, because he did that for Dusty, and Cody felt like loyalty to him for that. But anyway, let me ask you this, and it's switching gears a little bit, because I know you're a Nia Jax fan, as am I. Asuka going after Charlotte opened up an opportunity for Nia, which I actually liked that whole scenario.
Me too.
That Nia, because Nia's deserved this spot for a long time.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm a big fan of Alexa Bliss. Nia winning at WrestleMania wouldn't bother me. Alexa winning at WrestleMania wouldn't bother me. I like how friends, not friends. All right, finally,
Mickie James
Nia
seems
finds
kind of
out
out of
Alexa's
place,
a little bitch. Mickie James being involved helps. Yup. I dig that. I also dig Charlotte versus Asuka makes all the sense in the world to me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, listen, all that stuff with Bayley and Sasha and all that, I could care less right now. But the other two, the championship matches, I think they hit a home run with both of them.
I look at it this way. Nia's probably going to get the belt. I'm a huge Alexa Bliss fan. I love Alexa Bliss. I actually, to tell you the truth, I don't know if people have been I've not watched the mixed match challenge, but I have seen clips of it. And the way they've been portraying the whole Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman have a thing going on between the two, like they almost kissed this past week. And people are, I know the first reaction to people is to groan, oh, WWE's trying to force couples on us again. But it works with those two, and they play it off so well. I'm kind of hoping that Alexa Bliss, after all this, goes off with Braun Strowman and kind of becomes his manager or whatever. I know it's beneath her wrestling-wise, but those two have such good chemistry together. Here's the Nia Jax deserves the title.
Nobody's going to mess with her with Braun Strowman.
Exactly. And, the Nia Jax winning the belt is long overdue. They've yo-yoed her so much, it's long overdue. On the SmackDown side...
I actually think they made her look too weak.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. But
she should be like how Braun... And they've done it with Strowman at pay-per-views as well, but...
Here's how I see
Nia should be booked like Strowman is.
The SmackDown side, the SmackDown side's going to play out like this, and it's going to piss people off. Because I know the way Vince does things. And it would not surprise me. I don't want it to happen this way, but it would not surprise me if Asuka goes ahead and wins the title. Okay? Charlotte Flair winning the streak or ending the streak and retaining the title makes no sense. Yes, I know that they have built up Asuka so damn poorly and treated her like crap since she's moved up to the main roster. Guess what? They've done that with everybody else up on the main roster, so why should she be the exception? But
pretty much.
I guarantee you Asuka's going to make Charlotte tap out, and then goddamn what's-her-face, Carmella is going to run down and win. Or they're going to pull...
I was thinking it was going to be a Seth Rollins deal.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Or she pinned Charlotte instead of Asuka. They're going to do a deal where she's going
to pin Charlotte, and that's the way they get out of it.
Right.
Either way...
that's the way they... Well, here's the thing, though. That's the way, you're right. They get out of Asuka losing, or they get out of Charlotte winning. But, this is the problem, though. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I know you don't like it. I can tell from your way you're saying that. I don't have a problem with Carmella cashing in and winning. I really don't. In that scenario, because I think it makes sense in the sense that you can revisit Asuka and Charlotte down the road here, because there was no clear winner. The problem I have with it is if they do what they did with Rollins and Brock and have no meaningful feud or anything after. And not only that, they actually started to do Brock and Rollins, and they trashed it to have the fucking 90-year-old Undertaker come back.
Yep.
Which is let's jump ahead here.
We'll get there.
I got.
Hold on. I want to say something else about this. And this is the problem with streaks in wrestling. It's got to end sooner or later. The problem is, who is she? You know, let's say she does beat Charlotte. That means
I think Nia Jax is the one that should end it.
But the thing is, she's beaten Nia Jax twice.
Yeah, but that's NXT. Nobody remembers that.
No, on the main roster, she's beaten Nia twice.
Oh, that's right. On Raw.
So I'm sitting here wondering.
I know that's right. That's true. I'm thinking of their I kept thinking back to NXT.
Part
that's
of
right.
me
On
sitting
Raw.
here going, Charlotte Flair almost has to beat Asuka, but the problem is, if Charlotte Flair beats her, that means she's the only one in the whole entire WWE that can beat her. So who the fuck do you bring up next to beat Asuka? She's ran over everybody else.
Here's the big issue for me. They should have one women's division and one tag team division.
Yep. Exactly.
They shouldn't have two.
The problem is, though, man, she's ran over everybody on both.
It's too thin to do that. I'm sorry. The tag division's too thin, and the women's division's too thin.
I have the same problem. I'm gonna, I know that people listening to this probably don't care, but the CWF Mid-Atlantic, Trevor Lee just faced John Skyler last weekend. They had to bring in an outsider for Lee to face. Why? Because Lee has ran over everybody else in that locker room.
They built him too strong.
Yep.
Yep, I've seen that happen in the past. We've all seen that happen in the past.
Anyway,
how are my good friends down there at CWF?
They're doing great. Well, I don't know if you knew the whole kerfluffle that went on, but
I don't. But in all seriousness, I hope they're doing good, especially my guys there. Who was Kane Justice and what was my other guy there that got mad at me for talking about his physique? Chip Day. Honestly, I'm not even joking. How are those guys doing?
Chip hasn't wrestled there since last summer, but Kane has actually been.
I actually
really
heard that Chip
good.
wrestled in New Jersey recently.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, good for him.
But Kane has been doing damn good. I don't like the way they're booking him as of late because I think he should be he should be their Kurt Angle, but they're not booking him as their Kurt Angle because if it was me, he would have.
Here's what I learned about Kane. Leading up to our conversation, I thought he was like a super heel. I actually think he should be a babyface.
Nah, well, the thing is that crowd has been treating him like a babyface ever since he debuted.
Well, isn't he the one with the mom in the first row and everything?
Yeah, she actually booed. One of the other wrestlers in the locker room made a bet with her that she would not boo her son at the show, and she ended up booing the hell out of him in one episode.
We have a situation like that with Northeast Wrestling with Wrecking Ball Legursky, who is booked as this monster heel, but Wrecking Ball is a local guy. He played his college football at Southern. His family's from Southington. So he has his uncles and cousins in the crowd and shit, and they go crazy for Wrecking Ball. Jesus. You know what I mean? So it kind of throws off the whole plus the little kids, they like the big 400-pound monster, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of those deals. But you know what? These indie shows are fun, man. Like they really are. It's just another aspect. Even if I'm kind of down on the main product, like I being back at Bethany on Sunday made me realize how much I miss, popping in once a month or whatever to these indie shows.
So you mentioned the Undertaker,
like the real indie shows. The real indie shows.
Yeah.
Let's do that because there's two more I wanted to do with you today. We got time to WrestleMania. We shouldn't cover everything, but I got two more I want to do with you today. Let's do Taker Cena, and then I want to do the IC with you before we let go here. But Taker Cena, thoughts so far?
I want to ask you a question first because this is another thing that's been coming up on Busted Open, and I think this should happen. Because if this is going to be his last one, I think we need to see the American Badass. You got Kid Rock there. He could play American Badass live, sing the Undertaker to the damn ring.
I think it's the only way you could do right. To me, it makes first of all, they're putting him in the Hall of Fame this year. I think that's almost a giveaway. The other thing too
they're not putting him in the Hall of Fame this year.
Kid Rock.
Oh, Kid Rock, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Kid Rock. He's the celebrity Hall of Fame guy.
Yeah.
Not Taker.
I thought you meant Taker. I'm like, whoa, wait.
No. Kid Rock. So he's there. My point being, Kid Rock's going to the Hall of Fame, so he's there. All right? So you have that aspect. The other side of it, that's an actual, thank God, explanation for last year. Him leaving the gloves in the middle of the ring, and
that's the retiring of the character,
Right. But this is his alter ego or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So story-wise, it makes sense.
And you got John Cena. You got John Cena out there calling
out his wife.
And somebody calls out my wife, I'm going to show up as a dead man.
I know I'm a bigger Cena guy than you, but come on, Cena's crushing these promos.
He is. My thing on this is,
I thought he crushed it last week. I loved his fucking promo this week.
Oh, me too. You're going to sit there and call out somebody's wife and then
on Raw. On Raw, I'm sorry, I said SmackDown. I meant Raw.
Somebody's going to call out your old lady or whatever, or you're going to mention their old lady, and you're going to come out there with your eyes rolling and purple lights. No, you're going to come out there with
right. You're going to be like, I'm coming at you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me ask you this though. Do you need to see him before the match, or are you okay with it?
I think the Monday before
Mania surprise.
I think the Monday before, and I think you should
before for the build. Yep. I'm with you, bro. I think you got to see it first. I think you got to see him come out first.
I think that you have to have confirmation of which Undertaker you're going to see.
And no, I think you have to have confirmation that you're going to see him too.
Or you know what I would like to do one time?
See, I don't like this Kane shit though.
Neither do I.
They should have kept, because if you're going badass, keep Kane out of it.
But I think here's what I would do. I would sit there and have John Cena come out there the Monday before Mania and shoot his mouth off, and then all of a sudden you hear the gong, and then you hear Kid Rock go, "Are you scared?" And then the little girls, "He's here," and hit that shit.
Yeah, how about the little kids? Get the little kids going.
Yeah,
you remember how
the three little girls like The Shining.
I actually just saw that today because I was watching this video on YouTube. They're doing kind of like. They sometimes it wasn't YouTube, it was Instagram. They show like these old school things and they give you 1 minute clip at a time. I know you don't use Instagram, but it was Rock and Triple H
in an Iron Man match. It was Judgment Day 2000.
What was the day? It was the Raw after though.
Oh, okay.
The day after. So Triple H comes out, Rock's killing him. Badass and Road Dogg come out. He's beating up them and X-Pac and everything else. And finally they get the better of the Rock. So Shane comes out and Vince comes out. So the Rock bottoms Vince, and then DX gets the better of the Rock.
Yeah, that's Judgment Day 2000. That can't be the Raw afterward, because what you're describing to me, it was one of the very first VHSs I bought of WWE was that pay-per-view. And that's that Iron Man match.
On the pay-per-view?
Yeah, he did. It was Judgment Day 2000. It was an hour-long Iron Man match.
No, it was the next night. It was the night after.
Was Shawn Michaels there?
Because The Rock was... No, The Rock was wearing his red button-down with the glasses and everything. The old school Rock.
Okay.
No, because JR and King were saying, I don't know how they're still standing after that hour-long match from the night before.
Gotcha, okay.
So it was the next Raw. So then... But they said during it that Undertaker appeared the night before too.
Gotcha.
This wasn't a match; it was just a promo.
Oh, okay.
So then Undertaker comes down, beats up everybody. Triple H is going for the pedigree on the stairs, which are in the ring, which I think they put in the ring so he could get the bike around.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then the Rock bottoms Triple H through the table, through the announce table, whatever. Point being is. I saw that old entrance and I was like, damn, yo, a Raw or two before Mania, Cena's going crazy and these little girls pop up on the screen. That's what needs to happen.
Because here's the thing. John Cena's been calling him out. Show me his son. He's not here. And then what if that gong hits and you hear, "Are you scared?" And John Cena has this, I like shitting my pants look. Yeah. And you hear,
he'll sell it perfect, dude.
Mm-hmm. And he'll sell it perfect. He's here. And American Badass starts up and.
Did you ever watch Cena when something happens like on the screen or in the crowd when he's in the ring? He's totally always. This is one thing you got to give Cena. He's always in character.
Like the night Brock came back.
Like, oh my God! You just see his facial expressions. It's like Cena's always ready to sell the moment where you could see other people getting caught off guard.
I want to talk about one more with you before we get to the IC.
Hold on, before that. I don't know how much the Undertaker could give you in this match. Maybe Cena carries it a little bit. But see, I'm not the guy that needs to see the Undertaker every year. But I also believe this match, even though it might be a couple years too late, this match needs to happen. So I like it.
The problem is that what good does it do afterwards? What does it do for either of these guys afterwards?
Well, between those two, they could go away afterwards. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think John Cena should win, and this should be the Undertaker's last go-around. Have it be his last ride, you know?
I agree.
AJ and Nakamura. We got to talk about this one. AJ Styles is rumored to have an injury.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
They're saying that the match may.
Let's talk about it, and then let's do the IC.
IC, because Roman versus Brock, we know who's winning that. We know the ins and outs of that. But anyway, the AJ versus Nakamura. I've said it before. It's not going to main event the pay-per-view. It should, but it's not.
Well, we had that fight about it when he swore to me it would, and I proved you wrong.
You did.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway. AJ versus Nakamura. Everybody's expecting this to be the Japanese style rip roaring. Look, they had one match in New Japan and it was good. You're not going to get that here with these two. Nakamura is a totally different. Let me ask you this, because you watch New Japan a lot. Was Shinsuke the cutesy in his promo wise? Was he always smiling and saying, "I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania," and doing all this cutesy shit? I have a feeling. I want to say he was more badass than this in New Japan.
Say this again.
Nakamura. He's been doing all these cutesy promos, smiling from ear to ear.
I don't like the way he's acting.
I don't like it either. I have it. Like I said, I have a feeling he was more badass than this in New Japan.
But he was still got that weirdness to him. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. My girlfriend, I so badly want to park a microphone upstairs and record
you know what it is, Joe?
Because my girlfriend said
you see him every week, but here's the thing. Here's a factor here's a factor with all these guys that I think we sometimes forget. With New Japan or whatever, when you're like Ibushi, I'll throw Ibushi or Kenny Omega, another example. I see Kenny Omega wrestle here and there in the storylines, maybe 2 times a month, sometimes 1 time a month, sometimes not for a month. But then you see the guy every single week. And why? I think it's a big factor. I think it's very tough for these guys to entertain and come up with something new every single stinking week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I look at it this way. Nakamura should just do after he won the Rumble and he was going up to AJ would be walking in the back and all of a sudden you just see Nakamura and he'd go, "I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania." That's what you should do every fucking week. Every week he should be going, "I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania." And that's all he needs to say. That's all he needs to say. That's all the interaction these two need to have. And just have AJ Styles just keep shrugging it off like, whatever, you ain't going to beat, just walk by cocky and just the next week, "I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania." That is a fantastic freaking build,
Right.
But I look at it this way. If they don't give Nakamura that title and at least a chance, then what's the fucking point of ever signing the dude? They build, the fans love him. He's another guy that heel, baby, he's never going to be a heel. You can't turn the man heel, I don't think. But he's another guy that men, women, children, they all love this guy. AJ Styles, you could go turn, it's probably the same way. But, I just think that they need to give this guy a chance just so they could say, "Oh, he's Japanese, he's held in the title." Maybe do a Japanese tour in the summer with him as the champion. Big, ticket sales, whatever the case may be. But it's Nakamura's time. He deserves it. What AJ does after this, you could get a whole slew of rematches out of these two,
I actually think AJ should win.
Really? Why?
I think AJ should win. I just don't think Nakamura needs to have the title right now. I think putting the title on Nakamura now is putting the title on him to elevate him. I think AJ's still a step above him in the WWE. I think it's if you listen, they've played a lot into old school New Japan or I mean, I'm old school New Japan, but the last few years New Japan with Balor, with Doc and Carl, with AJ, with Nakamura. AJ left New Japan. I mean, New Year's Dash I know was the last show, but he basically left New Japan, taking the loss to Nakamura for the IWGP Intercontinental title. A revenge match for AJ. Then you could sell it again down the road as the rubber match. I like AJ with the title. I think it brings a lot to SmackDown. I just think you're going to put, let's say you put the title, are you just going to put the title on Nakamura and Asuka because they're the hot thing and they're Japanese and you want to sell more international subscriptions?
Because New Japan's kicking WWE's ass right now. According to the internet, New Japan is above WWE, and they want a piece of that action. I agree with that. New Japan's getting ready to run an event in the U.S. this Sunday. Because New Japan's getting ready to run an event in the United States this Sunday.
Yeah, but dude, they still run Karukian Hall in front of 1,000 people in their own country. Like, the WWE is selling out 16,000 people for Raw every week. Like, I trash out WWE
Not
too.
For SmackDown,
but they're getting, they're getting 3 million. Okay, they're getting consistent 3 million viewers on Monday nights, which I get is half their audience. But their audience was in the stratosphere. They're still getting that 3 million.
You're right.
And they're getting to 1,600. Dude, watch the New Japan Cup. Dude, 90% of those shows were in front of 1,000 people in their own country. I love New Japan. I get it, but they're not challenging the WWE.
Here's the thing, though, man. If they could find a venue that held more than 1,000 that wasn't the fucking Tokyo Dome, do you think they wouldn't run there? There's no other venues
more than
in Japan.
The Tokyo Dome.
What other? I mean, I'm no somebody.
They never even sell it out.
No, what I'm saying is, okay,
they never sell that dome out.
No, they don't. But here's my point.
They can put 80,000 in that fucking dome.
No,
what are you crazy?
No, wait, that's not what I was saying.
Dude, that it does like 50,000 for baseball.
That's not what I was saying. Here's what I was saying though. If they could find an event that holds more than 1,000, but less than what the Tokyo Dome holds, like 10,000 people, that was right there, they probably would sell it out.
Well, they do. I understand.
I don't know if there is one in Japan.
They run other venues, but the majority of their venues don't. The majority of their venues are very Ring of Honor indie wrestling.
But what I'm telling you is if there were any, because that's how arenas are built in Japan. If they had an arena, and somebody please leave us a comment, let me know. I have to believe there's some sports stadium that holds 20,000.
No, they do have other stadiums, but they don't hold. Listen. They have baseball stadiums all over that country, and they're all domes. They have the venues. Like, what do you mean?
Here's what I mean. Okay,
listen, I
there's
love
a
Wrestle
big
Kingdom.
difference in going to.
Dude, I get it. Wrestle Kingdom was great. There was 35,000. The WWE is going to get 80,000 plus. And how many viewers? Come on, dude. They're not on the same level. There's no way they're on the same level.
I'm not saying they're on the ssame level.
Every guy that had
that Vince doesn't want to squash them.
But hold on a second. Why would Hiromu Takahashi have to wrestle on an ROH pay-per-view if he's making all this money in New Japan? Why do they need Ring of Honor?
I get your point, but my point is that I think Vince McMahon sees it. He doesn't want anybody to even be on par with him, so he's going to squash it before it even starts.
No. Listen, he sees. Listen, if you take $100, Vince McMahon wants all 100 of those dollars. But if he sees that, that guy's going to spend 60 on me and spend 10 on Ring of Honor and 30 on New Japan, I need that other 40. So I'm going to go get it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean they're beating WWE. Come on, dude. They're not beating WWE.
All right, two things.
Listen, wrestling, this is the thing about wrestling fans, and I know I'm going to sound insulting here, but wrestling fans are very caught in this wrestling world. Like, dirt sheets and kayfabe and reality is not reality, and reality is reality, and fake is not fake, and fake is fake. Listen, the bottom line is this. The WWE is still light years ahead of everybody in wrestling. Come on. It's not even close. Dude, they have a national freaking TV contract. Until New Japan is running live. I understand time change. Until New Japan is on Fox Sports 1 or ESPN, or don't give me access, okay? Don't give me access. Don't give me access a show that's 3 months old, and the only live thing they ever run is when they're in the U.S. Don't give me access, okay? I put them on ESPN, put them on Fox Sports, Spike TV, pick the network. When New Japan gets there, when they get there, I might start agreeing. When they need to stop shopping out their talent to other companies, I might start agreeing. But until then, there's no way they're on the WWE.
You mentioned TV contracts. I want to talk about this. The big rumor that Fox is going to gobble up the WWE from USA in 2019. And that...
I heard that they want Raw specifically.
Here's what I think. I think WWE goes to them because this ties into what also another thing that I want to talk about.
There is an NFL factor which I want to bring up.
Yeah, there is because their NFL's on Thursdays. Charlie Ebersol has made this deal with his little football league that CBS has signed on to.
Listen, those little football leagues are never going to last. They're not even worth talking about.
Do you think that they go, okay, CBS has the NFL and this other thing. Why don't you put Raw and SmackDown? Put SmackDown on FS1 on Tuesdays, because what the fuck else are you going to watch on FS1 on a Tuesday? And then, we'll give, and also you get the XFL as a package deal. I got to tell you,
an NFL partner?
No. What if WWE goes to Fox? Okay, CBS is an NFL partner.
It's an NFL partner, though.
But CBS.
Fox pays the NFL more than any other network.
So does CBS, right?
No. In their network TV deals, Fox pays for NFC, for the NFC and the NFL. That is the most lucrative package. They pay because the Giants, Cowboys, and Packers.
So how is
Fox,
it? Okay.
Fox pays like $11 billion for the NFL.
I don't think that matters. Because here's the thing. If the NFL was so worried about these other leagues, they look at CBS and go, don't you be carrying Charlie Ebersol's deal. Don't you be carrying Charlie Ebersol's thing or we'll pull you out of this, We'll cut ties with you.
Maybe, okay, you could do it for 4 years to shove Vince down and then we're going to bury you too.
Yeah, I mean, so.
Dude, those networks, honestly though, those football leagues are not going to work, dude. They're not going to fucking work.
I'm not saying they're going to work, but I'm saying like in the greater scheme of things, when it comes to WWE going to Fox, I would not be surprised if the Fox started carrying, on even if it's on FS2.
Here's how WWE is going to go to Fox. If Fox offers more money for Raw than USA does, which could happen.
It's probably going to happen.
Or if Fox was to lose UFC.
I think that I don't know if Fox is going to lose UFC or not. UFC really doesn't make a factor into it because UFC and WWE were broadcast on Spike back in the day. So
No. My point being is if they lose UFC, they're going to want the WWE.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think
with
it's
the UFC.
I think it's beneficial.
WWE.
I think it's beneficial.
Yeah, but
more
I don't
beneficial
think.
Because
here's the thing, though. I don't think during baseball season that you're gonna get Fox to put 3 hours of Raw every Monday.
It's gonna be 2 hours. Either way.
No, let's just say they do, and then 2 hours of SmackDown on Tuesday during baseball season every year. This is not gonna happen. So Fox Sports 2 is gonna come involved, or do they just buy Raw? And then Vince has to put SmackDown elsewhere.
I think they do Raw, and then SmackDown goes to FS1.
Do you think let's say USA lost Raw, would they still pay for SmackDown? I think they would because it's still USA's top two programs are Raw and SmackDown still. Mm-hmm. They don't get the ratings that FX
unless you ask the USA Network, because the USA Network has been running these promos talking about how they're the number one show in cable, and they preview all their shows like Mr. Robot and Suits and all that. Not once in there do they mention WWE, which is the entire reason why they're able to claim that they're number one on cable.
Right. And well, here's the other thing. If you look, I mean, come on, let's be honest. They're not getting the ratings that these other networks are getting on these sitcoms, these running shows. They're not even close.
But I think it's.
Listen, I've watched some of the USA shows, and I've honestly thought some of them were pretty good. But as far as like my friends watching them, they're like, dude, what are you talking about? They don't even know what the fucking show is.
I think it's going to end up that you're going to see Raw on Fox. You're going to see SmackDown on FS1. And then when the XFL does start up in 2 years, it's going to be on between FS1 and FS2. You're going to see more of it on FS2. But, it's somewhere for Vince to say, hey, I got my football league on a network, He'll take it no matter what. But I think that you're going to... And Raw being on Fox means that it has to go back to 2 hours. It has to run between 8 and 10 because at 10 o'clock on Fox networks, at least down here in the South, 10 o'clock news comes on my Fox station. And Fox isn't going to abandon their news program every night at 10 o'clock to air an extra hour of WWE. The question is...
No, but you're talking about putting Raw on Big Fox?
Yeah, Big Fox Network, like Monday nights on Fox Network TV, not FS1.
So you're talking about Raw on Fox and maybe SmackDown on FS1.
Yeah, I think that could work.
I think that could work. Yeah.
And then, you do your little...
Especially, like you said, if you do 2 hours...
And then you throw in the XFL.
And then have those 3-hour specials every now and then.
And then you throw in the XFL because the XFL is going to be sandwiched right in between NFL and MLB season.
Right.
So, and if you have to sacrifice... the problem's going to come when the World Series rolls around and you have to preempt Raw for a goddamn World Series game. That's going to piss people off.
I don't know if World Series games fall on Monday.
Really? Well,
yeah,
if that's the case, WWE's home free.
No, it's usually because you usually get a Saturday, Sunday, so you'll get a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
or you'll
then
get
WWE's home free to go to Fox.
Yeah, I don't remember a World Series game being on Monday.
Neither do I. But I'm telling you right now, they're free to go to Fox if they take that business model. And then Vince throws in the XFL as a damn cherry on the cake because the XFL is going to start right after football season and it's probably going to end right before baseball season.
Right.
It fits. It just fits. And
well, let me ask you a question. If let's just say like a big sporting event fell on a Monday, like you know what's on Fox on a Monday? The college football championship games on a Monday. Why couldn't you just throw Raw on Fox Sports 1 for that 1 week?
Just for 1 week.
For 1 week, I think you could get away with it.
Yeah. Because, nowadays...
Listen, Fox will spend the money, too. That's the thing.
And if they could get just as much money for doing 2 hours, then they can from USA for doing 3.
Nobody's watching USA anymore if the WWE goes away.
Yeah.
The only person who's watching USA is, like, my father when he cooks, when he's watching reruns of fucking Law and Order.
Although I have been watching the Biggie and Tupac show that's coming on after SmackDown.
That is tremendous.
That is awesome.
I actually talked about that show on my solo segment. That I'm doing on the show.
I'm loving it. And if you follow the show,
very good, bro.
If you follow the show on Twitter, follow the show on Twitter too, because on Twitter they're giving you actual facts, saying yes, this person was arrested for, Tupac was arrested for rape on blah 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 blah. They actually pair up real facts to go along with the show. It's amazing.
Well, the other thing too is I don't know if you saw the OJ. OJ show they did, but it was on FX, but it was the same group, it was the same people.
Yeah. CM Punk, does he go all in?
No.
He's losing this fight in July. Don't let him kid you.
It's too soon. That's
really?
What I think. I think all in is too soon after the loss.
2 months?
Although Duke Rufus said he's 200% better than he was the last fight.
But who are they going to put him against?
No, they're going to put they're going to put him against Michael Johnson, who Mickey Gall beat to get the fight with CM Punk.
So he's going to fight the guy who lost to Mickey Gall.
Honestly, there's part of me that thinks the UFC wants CM Punk to win, because I think they want to do CM Punk Mayweather.
No. Dude, I don't even want to see that.
Well, hold on a second. Do you know how many fucking pay-per-views I would sell?
Oh, I know it would sell, but I'm just sitting there going,
boxing,
dude,
the boxing guy
Punk
versus
is
the
winning
wrestler.
again. There's no way Punk is winning again.
The two guys I hate the most in this world fight each other, and I want to watch it.
But then again, it's 2 years. It's been 2 years since that fight, right? Since the Mickey Gall fight with Punk?
Punk fought Mickey Gall. Shit. When did he fight Mickey Gall? I don't think it's been 2 years yet. I think it's like a year and a half.
Let's check on this here. Hold on.
Well, Punk's a lot bigger than Floyd, but Floyd has a fighting background, which Punk doesn't have.
He fought him in September of 2016, so it's been about a year and a half.
Right.
It'll be over a year and a half when. But he's not going back to WWE. He's never going back to WWE. Okay. So
I don't know.
I think he does this fight in July.
I think there's a possibility he could go back to WWE, but we could agree to disagree on that.
He does this fight in July, man. I'm telling you, July 9th. All In is September 1st. It's 2 months. Unless he gets fucked up beyond all, totally foobarred to where he's got like his teeth hanging out.
I think it's too close. I think even to sell it in wrestling after a loss like that, I think it's tough, dude.
Even for the All In crowd, man, those bunch of damn indie smarks with their beach balls and their one fall chance.
I agree. They're not going to care.
They're not going to care what
all
happened.
But I think that crowd is smaller. I think it because it's so vocal, people give it more.
Do you think they draw 10,000 people?
Yes, I think they do.
The building holds 11, so
I think they're going to draw 10. I think they're going to draw close to a sellout.
But the thing is, can they draw it without a big name? The rumor was Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's not going to be there.
Hold on. Are you saying that these guys aren't big names now?
I'm saying that I think they need a big name to push them over 10,000.
I don't know.
I don't think Cody.
Honestly,
I think
it would
Young
help.
Bucks.
I think that would help. I still think they could do it.
For me, it's like if you build the pen, the sheep will come. That's the way this is.
I think they're big enough now that they can do it.
I don't know, man.
I guess we're gonna have to see. I mean, but I think they're big enough now that they can do it.
Ring of Honor is only drawing 4,000 or 5,000 in New Orleans.
I understand. I understand all that. I get it. But I think there's a lot of fucking people out there that are buying Bullet Club shirts that have never been to a live show.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there in Big Lots. I don't know if you have Big Lots up north, but I'm sitting in Big Lots picking out furniture the other day, or a couple weeks ago. This little 15, 16-year-old kid walks in with a damn Bullet Club shirt on. I was like, I like your shirt, and he too sweet at me.
I saw your tweet on that.
I was walking out of GameStop about a week later.
What?
16-year-old kid with a Bullet Club shirt on.
Wait, cease and desist. We can't do sweet anymore.
So 2 weeks later, I'm walking out of GameStop. Kid with a Bullet Club shirt on, walking away from me out the GameStop. And I'm sitting here wondering, okay, one kid knows. I'm curious to poll these guys that buy these Bullet Club shirts out of Spencer's or Hot Topic, and I'm curious to know, are you buying a shirt because you think it's cool because it says Bullet Club on it, or do you really know what the fuck that is? Do you really? Because
I think people are buying it because it's cool.
Yeah.
And I'll give you.
Because here's what kills me. I bet you if over half the people buying it, if they found out it was through professional wrestling, they would never wear that fucking thing again.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it goes that deep. But do you remember Taven and the Kingdom doing the questionnaire? As the guys walk by their table with Bullet Club shirts on, name all the members of the Bullet Club.
And they couldn't do it.
I'm sure there was guys that got it right, but there was a lot of guys that didn't get it right. I think there's a lot of guys out there that are casual to more than casual wrestling fans that are caught up in this Bullet Club thing that I don't think knowing all the particulars and watching ROH every week needs to happen for them to be Bullet Club. Dude, walking in, even at NEW on Sunday, Bullet Club shirts.
I'm gonna see a ton of them at Queens of Combat.
Did I send it to you? Mick Foley's Facebook post after NEW WrestleFest.
No, I don't think you did.
Foley was at WrestleFest, and the Bucks, Marty were there. The Kingdom was there, but the majority, all the ROH talent, not named Flip Gordon, that was there for meet and greets and promos only. They can't wrestle. So Marty and the Bucks opened the show, whatever. Point being is Mick Foley was there also and did a post. They had about 3,000 people and was basically talking about T-shirt sales and how he was proud of the Bucks because he was at TNA when they were there and they worked hard. It just wasn't the right time and blah, 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 the whole deal. And he was saying how he sold like 5 T-shirts and he probably saw 5 of his T-shirts in the crowd and he saw 1,000 Bullet Club, Young Buck, Marty Squirrel T-shirts. And point being is there's just a lot of people out there that jumped on this train. And that's why I think they're going to get that 10,000, dude. I got friends of mine hitting me up like, bro, let's go. Let's fucking go to All In. I'm not going to.
If it sells out, it's going to sell out.
Dude, I actually want to visit Chicago. And I'm not opposed to going to All In. It's just not a good time in the year for me. I'm not going to do it. But
if it sells out,
I think if they get 10,000,
I don't think. Here's the thing: it's not going to sell out. I think they will get right at about 10,000, maybe.
What's a considered sellout there?
11. Well, if they do any kind of staging or whatever,
it's usually a little bit less than the actual capacity.
The building holds 11,000, over 11,000, just over 11,000. I don't think they'll draw the 10,000, but if they do, and if this show sells out,
let me ask a question: do you give them credit if they draw 9-2?
No, because they said 10,000. The whole point of the show is to prove Meltzer wrong and draw 10,000.
Ring of Honor has never drawn over 3,000.
But they've never.
If they draw not 9-2,
they've never sat there. They've never been so
hold on
arrogant.
A second, but you're not going to give them credit. That's marketing. That's trying to sell it.
But here's the thing:
you're not going to give them credit for getting 9,200 people in a building.
Here's why. Because the only reason why they're doing this show, the only reason, is because Meltzer went out there and said, an indie show can't draw 10,000 in the U.S. That's the only. So okay. So here's the thing: unless they draw 10,000,
I've seen NJPW draw 5. So I disagree with that.
That's just it. Meltzer said that. Meltzer said nobody could draw 10,000. The number is 10,000. So if they don't draw at least 10,000, that proves Meltzer right. Therefore, it's failed. That's dude. They're doing this whole fucking show as a bet to Meltzer. Dude, the only reason why they're doing this show is dude. If you tell me, I bet you I could spit.
Drawing 9,200 at an indie show is not a fail.
You could tell me. Okay, you tell me, dude. I bet you can't spit 10 sunflower seeds into a cup that's 10 feet away, and I do 9. You're gonna look at me and go, "It wasn't 10. You failed." It's the same thing.
So let me ask you a question now. So what's Meltzer's number? What's his max number that they could draw? That an indie show could draw? Because here's the thing: if you're going to say they can't draw 10,000, I don't
think he gave a number, but his deal was
because he didn't want to be proved wrong.
Because
once he gives you a minimum, he's proved wrong.
Yeah, but his deal was nobody outside of WWE has drawn 10,000 at a wrestling show in the U.S. in years. Okay. And he's right.
He's right. But has anybody been in position to do it either? No.
You're right. I don't know.
Wait, who was in position to draw 10,000 aside from them? And the U.S.
Well, you could say WCW, but
10 years ago?
Yeah,
it'd be gone for more than that.
Well, here's the thing. You're right. The state of the business, I mean, even during the Attitude Era, the indie scene was shit. So, I mean...
it was different.
But now nobody else...
Yeah, but the game is shit. My point being is, you're right. 10 years ago, it couldn't have happened.
They're writing, and this is why I think the New Japan thing... This is why I think the New Japan thing, if they could run a building that only... If New Japan were to come over here or go over to... if New Japan were to run this type of a building in Japan, they'd sell it out each and every time. But they don't. And I don't know whether it's a lack of buildings over there in Japan, but this is clearly the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes riding their New Japan coattails over to here and saying, let's all prove Meltzer wrong. Let's all shut Meltzer.
I think they may be trying to shut him up and prove him wrong.
But here's what kills me. The whole thing about it is Meltzer's in their pocket.
New Japan didn't even have the balls to try it last year. They ran a venue that was like 2,500, and they sold it out in 10 hours. It was stupid. They should have gone to a bigger venue.
Well, the thing is, did you look at the building that they ran last year? They could have packed more people in there.
It's not set up properly though. You need that's the problem. Some of these arenas that like even Ring of Honor runs, and I've been there.
They're running the West Coast, which I think is a problem.
Yeah, but you could see them fitting more people in, but fitting more people in that could see from proper angles.
Yeah, you're right.
And actually have a comfortable seat. I think that comes into factor. The thing is though, you know what? I think they're going to get to 10,000 if they don't. My point is, if they get 8,500, 9,000, then Meltzer's still wrong. Because I guarantee you his maximum number wasn't that high anyway. If he's saying they can't run 10, he would never give you a minimum because that would prove him wrong. What if he said, you can't run 10, 6,500 your maximum, and they put 8,500 in? He looks like an asshole. To me, if you're going to say you can't run 10, give me the ceiling that you think they could run.
Yeah. Because
I've seen NEW run 5, and I get it. It's an outdoor. It was a nice day, outdoor stadium. Flair is there. You got Mysterio. You got the Bucks. You got Del Rio. You got Taven. You got Warbeard. You got Samoa Joe. You know what I'm saying? I know he had all those people there, but he got 5,000. That's pretty good.
I think that
and that was two. That would be 3 years ago this summer. The Bucks are way bigger now than they were then. Cody, they didn't have Cody. Kenny Omega was a Kenny Omega then. You know what I'm saying? The dynamic has changed. Honestly, I think that you just sat here and fought with me saying New Japan was bigger than WWE or doing better, right?
No, not that they're doing better. I didn't say that they're doing better. I said that Vince McMahon sees them as a threat. That was my point.
I don't know. I don't know if he does, but either way, that argument tells you that Meltzer could be wrong. The fact that you have all these New Japan subscribers, the fact that ROH is doing their own streaming network now, the fact, you know what I'm saying? The fact that all this stuff's going on, I think proves that maybe that is possible. Now, I agree with you. I think they need a big name. I think Jericho versus Naito might be enough. With Cody there, with I don't know where they're going to be storyline wise, but maybe you get Golden Lovers.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think this whole thing of the Bullet Club splitting into two different factions is going to hurt that All In show? Because here's what I'm hoping. Remember when WCW did the NWO Sold Out, and it was an NWO pay-per-view, and they had Bischoff and DiBiase doing commentary? Yeah, but I'm hoping that this All In thing isn't like that. Because it has the potential to be like that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that one, bro. I agree. That ended up just being stupid.
Lavi Margolin, who I've had on the show, he wrote the Trump Mania book. He does a lot of stuff concerning Ring of Honor. He did a poll that says, what pro wrestling show would draw more fans, All In Chicago, or if the New Japan Pro Wrestling ran the Cow Palace in July? And a lot of people are picking All In. All In is winning 75-25. It's going to be curious to see how they go with this show, man, on Sunday. Because New Japan, are you going to be watching on Sunday?
I hope they really do well. I mean, I hope they really do well, dude. Like, I'm not going to sit here and guarantee you they're going to get. I really think they're going to get that number. I hope they do. But to me, if they get 8,000, 9,000. Yeah, it's not 10. I get it. But to me, that's not a failure, though. Because I guarantee this, my point being, I guarantee you this. If you gave Meltzer True Serum and said, what's your max number, he wouldn't give you 8,000 or 9,000. Because if he's not giving you 10, he ain't giving you 8 or 9.
No. He would probably say it caps out at about
65, 7,000. So, but my point being, why not do that? Like if you're going to have some balls and say they're not going to get 10, give me that other number. Give me that other number. So when they break that number, or they get somewhere in the middle, because what he's going to say is what you just said. Oh, they only got 9,200. That's not 10,000. I told you they couldn't do it.
That's
but wait a
exactly what he's
second.
going to say. He's going to be like, they gave it a good effort.
Is way more. Listen, you are not going to say you can't get 10 if you don't think they can get 9. Because you're not going to put yourself in that position.
I'll agree with you in the fact that if they draw even 8,000 or 9,000, that's more than any indie events drawn in the U.S. in the last probably 20 years.
Absolutely.
And it's a good record, and they should trumpet that record. But interesting here I'm reading on Reddit.
Meltzer's going to give you the same bullshit that you just said.
Dave Meltzer reported in The Observer that New Japan Pro Wrestling officials have a preliminary hold date on the Cow Palace for July 7th. And they're running this Sunday in Long Beach, okay? Which sold out. They only put 5,000 seats. So they're only getting New Japan's capping out at 5,000 this Sunday. And it's sold out in under 20 minutes. Now the Cow Palace, here's an interesting thing.
They sold 5.
They sold 5. That's all
and
they
it
put
sold
up.
out in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Now the Cow Palace. Here's the thing. The Cow Palace holds 16,500 for concerts, 12,000 for basketball, 11,000 for ice hockey. The building is old. It hasn't really. WWE's last event there was No Way Out of 2003. I want to say, or 2004 when Eddie won the belt. So it's an old ass building. I mean, the building was built in 1941, so but it's a perfect thing. You know, they've kept it updated and everything like that. So it borders San Francisco. If New Japan runs that building and they draw more than 10,000 people, that's huge for New Japan. And right. WWE's going to see that, and they're going to be like, whoa, they just outdrew fucking SmackDown. That's what I mean by Vince McMahon. That's why Vince is wanting that Japanese audience. Come over. We got a Japanese women's champion. We got a Japanese men's champion. Who needs New Japan? That's how WWE... Dude, I'm telling you, that Cow Palace show, if it happens, and if they draw more than 10,000 there, hell, if they draw more than 8,000 there, it's more than SmackDown gets on a weekly basis live.
Right.
That's a threat, man.
So do you think they need Punk to draw 10?
What, New Japan or this All-In show?
All In.
Yes. If they had Punk, if they announced CM Punk's going to be
there, well, hold on. If they announce Punk, they're going to sell out.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
They're going to put 11,000
especially in Chicago.
They're going to move it around and make it to where, okay, we're just going to come out of a black curtain and we'll put 11,000 in the place. In Chicago and in Punk's hometown, hell yeah, and they'd be a fool if they didn't announce him. I'm curious as to when tickets go on sale for this thing myself.
They're not on sale yet?
No.
Let's see when they're on sale.
Let me see here. I don't know if they put an on sale date yet. That's just it. They're doing this very slowly. Why? Because they want to make sure they could sell the damn thing out, you know? But
right.
I don't think they've
Well, you got a lot of time. You're talking September. It's only March, so I mean that's not crazy. I got front row for May for Ring of Honor at the beginning of February.
What you want to bet me? They're going to sit there at New Japan this Sunday when are you going to watch it live on Access?
What time is it on?
Oh God, I don't know. I know it's this Sunday, but let me see here.
Wait, it's only one night?
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on. Let me look at this here.
This is the Long Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Golden Lovers versus Bucks.
Yeah, which is crazy to me that they're doing that. And another thing is that they got Josh Barnett and Jim Ross doing commentary, which I hate.
Oh, God, don't even get me started.
Fucking hate it, but...
How Kevin Kelly's not doing that commentary is beyond me. He's the only guy that should be doing that commentary.
It's just one date. It's
on Sunday.
Yep. It starts at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern, I think, is when it starts. I don't know. I have to go to Access TV.
Access.
Yeah, it's on Access.
Yeah, but I could probably watch it on New Japan World because I don't think I have access.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to.
Actually, I don't. I think it's not on live on New Japan World. I think I read that. I think I read you have to watch it live on Access.
let's see here. There have been some discussions for a July return being in a major arena, either in Long Beach or Vegas. The show would be the same night as UFC show in Vegas for International Fight Week, which is Cormier and Miocic. Dude, if they go, man, see, here's the thing. Pro wrestling fans are pro wrestling fans. They act like it's a not a divided
that's a
audience.
Saturday. If it's Cormier and Miocic, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, the Cow Palace show that they're talking about for July 7th is a Saturday.
Oh, the other show. They're gonna run it against UFC Fight Week.
Yeah.
Do they understand what kind of card UFC is gonna put on that night?
Pro wrestling fans, dude, they're looking at the fans who are not UFC fans, but strictly pro wrestling.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
So
I mean, the UFC is gonna put on maybe the greatest card in the history they ever put on.
They say that every fucking week. Every international fight week.
No. That's like their WrestleMania. That's their fucking.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do Stipe Miocic. They're probably gonna do Cyborg.
So let me see here. Strong Style, March 25th. It's 8:00 Eastern Time. English commentary. It says live for non-U.S. territories. Video on demand for the U.S. available.
So the Strong Style show is that show. What's the other Access show? The
other Access. The Strong Style Evolved is the one that's happening this Sunday on Access.
That's happening this Sunday on Access.
The other one on July 7th that they're thinking about doing at the Cow Palace, and this is the point I was going to get to. What do you want to bet me? They will announce.
So that's the one they're thinking about doing up against.
And up against the.
And they want to do it in Las Vegas.
They're going to do the Cow Palaces in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. I thought you said they were going to do it in Vegas.
But I guarantee you, during this Strong Style Evolve show, if the rumors are true, they're going to announce, because New Japan always announces like the upcoming dates. Mm-hmm. You're going to get two things. You're probably going to get G1 Climax information again, and you're also probably going to get them announcing this show for July 7th. You're probably on March. They're going to be like, March, hey, we're here 2 months later in San Francisco, just a couple of just a couple miles away from you. We're coming back to the West Coast in July. Mm-hmm. I don't know much about this Long Beach Walter Pyramid, but 5,000 is 5,000. I think that if they would have set up a 10,000-seat arena, New Japan probably could have drawn that.
Yeah, I think they could have.
But it'll be interesting to see if they announce this Cow Palace show. Because International Fight Week or whatever the case, UFC, whatever, I don't think that's going to play a factor. If they do a show at the Cow Palace, it's going to sell out.
Oh, it will sell out. I'm just talking about how many people are going to watch it.
And that July 7th show, that's the one that Punk is going to be on, right?
No, he's the June show in Chicago.
Okay. Man, why not put Punk on? I know why, because it's Chicago, but...
It's Chicago, that's the reason.
And
he's
going to get booed in Vegas.
They don't need Punk on that show, bro.
He's going to get booed in Vegas
They
anyway.
need Punk on the other show. They don't need Punk on that. That show's... Dude... DC, they're gonna have 3 huge title fights on that show.
Yep.
That show's gonna sell itself.
Anything else here before you let me go?
No, let's go now, because let's revisit the WrestleMania talk next week or the week after.
I'm off that day for my new job. So
which day?
On WrestleMania Sunday, which is the 8th.
Well, we're gonna do shows. We'll do some shows like we did last year. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a pre-show and a post-show.
I'm down for both.
Because I'm off
let's get together before that though. Let's get together either next week or the following week and break it down more.
Sure, no problem, man.
All right, brother. Good to chat with you, though, man. It's been a while, but it's always good. It's always good I like podcasting with you, because you and I. We don't always agree, and I think we have a good back and forth. I'm sure most friends have that.
How would it be if?
You're right, but listen, bro. You got to have that give and take. You can't just be all hugs and kisses.
No. Here's one more thing. If the New Japan show draws 10,000, I bet you the All In show won't, because everybody's going to blow their load to travel to California for that, and then they're going to have to turn around 2 months later to travel to Chicago.
Well, I mean, it's just so. I mean,
What
there's
would
so
you
many
go to
people, though.
if you had a
we're
choice?
We're talking about a fraction of the population.
Yeah, but if you had a choice right now, okay, either go to the New Japan show at the Cow Palace or go to All In, which do you choose? They got the same people on both.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm going to go to the New Japan show because I'm going to go to New Japan because it's probably going to be a better crowd. You know, the New Japan crowds even in the States. The New Japan.
I mean,
I'll
go to the show where my guys are going to be on. You know, honestly, the one reason why I thought about doing All In just because I want to go to Chicago. I want to go to Chicago. Just it has nothing to do with wrestling. Just I want to visit.
He wants to go to the bar scene, folks.
He's not lying. He's not lying. But I also, you know, if my boy Flip is on there, I can support my dude.
I can see AC roaming around Chicago drunk. Where's Oprah?
Oh God.
Where's Oprah?
I won't call you for bail money, Way. I promise.
Oh man, you ain't getting a nickel out of me for that shit.
All right, brother. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I'm sure the fans will also hear this on Pillar to Post as well,
yeah, man.
Which is cool. And hey, listen, I still have a show running pretty hot on your YouTube, so you know we could always work out a deal. You could throw my stuff up there,
dude. I'd be happy to.
Absolutely, we'll talk.
All right.
And you know, it was honestly, dude, it's good. It's good to catch up with you.
Yeah,
in all seriousness. And we'll talk soon, my friend.
All right.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the one and only Hollywood Jeff Edwards here. Cool Down with AC.
Hollywood.
You know, he just flew back in. He caught a G5.
He's done writing that book yet? His movie.
Melvin Dassey. Shout out Melvin Dassey. Yeah, it's in the archives. Check it out on Joe White's YouTube. Tons of fun, WCW?
No, it's youtube.com/C/From Pillar to Post.
Oh, he changed it.
Yeah, man.
Say that again?
It's youtube.com/C/From Pillar to Post.
All right, nice. So no more Tons of Fun.
Nope.
All right, once again, quick break. We'll be back. Cool Down with AC. All right, man.
Thank you, dude.
Thank you. It was fun.
I'm going to actually throw this up on YouTube probably tonight or tomorrow if it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want to do with it, be my guest.
All right, man. I will talk to you later. Right. I got to go get ready for CWF.
All right. Yep. Go do your thing, and we'll either next week or the following week, let's get back together, and then we'll do.
The only days that I'm going to be available. Well, actually, I'm available every night after my training ends at like 7:00. So every night after 7 is when I'm free. So if you want to do like late nights like we used to, or I'm off Sundays and Mondays going forward. So
next week, Wednesday or Thursday, it should be available at night.
Cool.
I just on Monday, Monday and Tuesday, I usually get home around 11:30. I don't know if you want to go that late.
Dude, it doesn't matter to me. Well, I wouldn't do it on a Tuesday because I have to go back to work.
Right. It's better to do a Wednesday, Thursday. That way I could watch Raw and SmackDown and all that too.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. We'll be in touch.
Right,
take care.
Bye.